Hello and welcome to 9MSN Newsroom. I'm Wendy Kingston with a quick hit of all of the big stories making news today. A father drowns while trying to save his sons from a rip in New South Wales. True or false? We have the very latest on the Brangelina split rumours. And find out what happens when this guy tries to trap a giant spider. First though, a Sydney father has died trying to save his two sons and their friend from rough seas on the New South Wales south coast last night. The 48-year-old entered the water when the children got into trouble at Lake Conjola around 7:30. They made it to safety, but the man disappeared. Board riders searched the water and found him, but paramedics were unable to revive him. And a funeral will be held this week for the Sydney couple who drowned last Tuesday while on holiday in Ballina in New South Wales. Yesterday, their three children, who tried in vain to save their parents from the rip, broke their silence about the tragedy.
They were good people. They had big hearts and they were there for everyone.
The Sherry children are now living with their grandmother. There's still no word from missing Melbourne millionaire Herman Rockefeller despite a desperate plea from his wife. He arrived at Melbourne Airport on Thursday after an interstate business trip. The father of two got off a flight at about 9 p.m, but he hasn't been seen since.
We've got no other avenues to go down. I mean, the police have been absolutely fantastic, but it's just nothing. It's nothing.
The man's disappearance has been described as out of character. There's still no official word from the Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie camp on the state of their relationship. It was reported over the weekend that the couple split and are speaking with lawyers. But as Nine's Tom Steinfort reports, there's two sides to this Hollywood story.
The original report came from Britain, a tabloid newspaper over there, which suggested that this power couple was going to be going its separate ways. But today, TMZ, which really doesn't often get things wrong in the celebrity world, came out and said that these claims were all wrong, and the claims that the couple were breaking up, there was just no basis to that. Now, it all seems to possibly have been a bit of a misunderstanding. The couple had signed papers that would set down the rules if there were a breakup. It's, in effect, pretty much a prenup. Now, let's remember they're not married, but this was to act as a prenup, but some people have jumped the gun and thought that might have been an actual contract to finish the relationship, but it seems at this stage that's probably not the case.
How did it all start?
Well, let's be honest, this couple's probably talked about 24/7 anyway,
Yep.
but it's really ramped up over the last few days because Brad Pitt himself was nominated for Golden Globe Awards and also was up with a gong at the Screen Actors Guild Awards, which were just last night, and the couple hasn't fronted either of those. They're normally staples on the red carpet over here in Hollywood, but no shows for both of those events. And at the Hope for Haiti benefit the other night, Brad Pitt was there on his own and Angelina was nowhere to be seen. So some people saw the dots, drew a line between a few of them, and that was the conclusion that they came up with, that this famous couple was going to break up.
Todd Lasance has today been placed on a good behaviour bond by a Sydney judge for cocaine possession. Lasance was arrested and charged after being caught with the drug at Home and Away's Christmas party in December. Lasance won't get a criminal record if he complies with the good behaviour bond for the next 12 months, which could save his career ambitions in the United States. A plane carrying more than 150 passengers has crashed in Iran, injuring at least 46 people. The jet burst into flames after both wings were torn off while trying to land in fog at Mashhad Airport. There are no reports of any fatalities. It's believed the pilots decided to make an emergency landing because a passenger was sick. Australian sailor Jessica Watson has a rival after a 16-year-old American girl began a quest to become the youngest person to sail solo around the world. Abby Sunderland is 5 months younger than Jess, and although nervous, she says she's up to the task.
And I understand how careful I need to be out there, and it makes me nervous, and it's a good nervousness. It's a healthy respect for the ocean and for what I'm doing.
Jessica is now more than halfway through her epic journey and is hoping to be home before her 17th birthday in May. Well, there's renewed debate ahead of Australia Day about whether it's time for a new flag. Television journalist Ray Martin is leading the campaign to change to a flag without the Union Jack. He says Australia has to grow up and move on to its next stage. It comes as speculation grows that the Labor Party will hold a referendum on a republic if re-elected. Well, if you've noticed a fair few of your workmates are away today, then chances are they've chucked a sickie. Based on figures from last year, an estimated 500,000 workers will call in sick to turn tomorrow's Australia Day holiday into a 4-day weekend. Now, if you did decide to take the day off, a word of advice: avoid posting any time or date-marked photos on your Facebook page. Now, it's the stuff of nightmares, a giant huntsman spider clinging to the ceiling in your home. And that's just what this Sydney man encountered. But it wasn't just the size of the spider that caught everyone's attention. It's how he tried to catch it.
And it's mating season, so she's out in the prowl looking for a mate. They're huntsmen and they move lightning fast. That's the way they catch their prey. I'm going to go up there and try and catch her with my best spider sense of this Chinese food container. I'll hand the camera over to my most faithful assistant to film this, and we'll see what we get. Oh, there's a great close-up of her. Look at her, isn't she beautiful? What a fine specimen. Can you see Daddy and the spider?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
Daddy, careful.
Decided to get a bigger container because of the size of this one. I'll have to move really quick.
No, I didn't watch that there, but apparently there's some debate over whether or not that's actually real. And the man in the video is believed to be a special effects whiz. And if you have any more information about that man, please contact us here at 9MSN. We'd really like to know more. Well, an unassuming sweet Susan Boyle won over the hearts of millions of people when she appeared on Britain's Got Talent. But it seems not everyone is convinced she's a shy, kind woman. Check out this spoof video.
Made it so exciting. While it wants my heart to fly.
I love it. Let's take a look now at the stories that are getting you clicking today. A US woman who was dumped by her married boyfriend has had the ultimate revenge. She's revealed their affair on giant billboards across America. Television show Spartacus, starring Australian Andy Whitby, has hit TV screens in the US and it's being slammed for its gory sex and death scenes. And comedian Andy Dick has been released on bail after being arrested for allegedly grabbing a bouncer's crotch. On to sports news now, and Justine Enna's Grand Slam comeback continues to gain momentum, progressing to the quarterfinals of the Australian Open. It was not all smooth sailing for former world number one Justine Enna, who lost her way in the second set against Janina Wickmeyer, going down 6-1. But with the crowd behind her, she managed to step up another gear in the decider, overpowering her opponent in just over 2 hours. Meanwhile, it's a big day for the Aussies today, with Leighton Hewitt and Sam Stosur to meet the respective world number ones in their fourth round matches. Hewitt will have to beat long-time nemesis Roger Federer, who has won the past 14 meetings. While it's just as tough for Stosur today, who will meet women's top seed Serena Williams. And Australia has taken a 2-0 lead in the one-day series against Pakistan following a dominant win in the second match in Sydney. Chasing 268, the innings couldn't have started any worse for Pakistan, the tourists falling to 2 for 7 in the first 5 overs. A half-century to captain Mohammad Yusuf provided some resistance, but in the end they fell 141 runs short of their target. Let's have a look at the weather now for you. Should be fine in Brisbane. Possible, I just made that up. Thunderstorms in Sydney, sunny in Melbourne. On to tomorrow, more thunder predicted for Sydney, sunny in Canberra, showers in Melbourne. And of course, for a more in-depth look at the weather at your place, all you have to do is click on the weather link, and that's on the newsroom page. Finally, designer John Galliano has turned to 2 different worlds for inspiration for his fall-winter menswear collection. Have a look at this. At his Paris runway show, he channelled Sherlock Holmes, mixing hobo with high class. And then the designer showcased gear that would have made Zoolander proud. Models sporting rather toned six-packs there, wearing tights and some interesting headgear. The collection has already received global acclaim, but whether the fashion will take off in Australia, we'll just have to wait and see. You can stick with 9MSM for the latest news right through the afternoon. And if you're not home in front of the TV by 6, you can watch 9 News live right here. And I will see you tomorrow.
You don't have to search far to find millions of good things happening. Big or small. They can happen in private or in public. We can plan them or find their happy accidents. Every day people find love or fame and fortune. Some find God, a home, the truth, the answer and a cure. Every day good things happen. You just need to search in the right place. Bing.